First on BBC One, Premier League football in Match of the Day with Desmond Lynham.
Good evening on a momentous day for the FA Carling Premiership. We don't know who's going to win it and we don't know who's going to stay in it. It is literally all up for grabs in what could be the most pulsating episode of Match of the Day there's ever been. Arsenal and Manchester United have gone toe-to-toe for the Championship. After 38 games, it comes down to the following 90 minutes.
Staunton. Oh, foul by Keown, surely. No, says the referee. Charles' ball in. York's header! Great save by David Seaman.
It's going to fall for Little. And Ward. And suddenly he's in here. And Johnson comes across and Ward with a shot. Palmed away by Schmeichel.
Bolton have survival in their own hands. Everton, though, they need Lady Luck to play a part in it. Survival in the Premiership was just as dramatic.
Oh! There was Slaman Bilic with a mistake that Moldovan nearly took advantage of. Hutchinson plays it into a gap. Ball leaves it. Shouldn't have!
All the action from the rest of the games played today. And rounding out the season with us in the company of Trevor and Trevor, who'll give us their expert analysis. Also come tonight, Trevor and Trevor will pick their top 11 here in the Premiership, so stick around for that. But I guess what you're all waiting for at the moment is who wins the Premiership. Well, if you've managed to avoid Radio 5 Live or Teletext today, let's tell you what happens. A momentous occasion in which we sent Trev Champion over to Oakwell, but first at Villa Park for us is Trev Motson.
Very few English clubs have won the league and cup double. Today, Arsenal could secure a double-double. 26 years after Bertie Mee led the likes of Frank McClintock and George Graham to glory, Arsene Wenger can become the first foreign manager to win both major domestic trophies. A week after Wembley's success, the pathway is clear for Arsenal today. Win, and barring a footballing miracle, the Premiership trophy will be in their hands for the very first time. Standing in their way are an Aston Villa team who have been transformed under John Gregory. European football awaits them next season, and it's Dwight Yorke who has been the shining light. The vultures are circling around Villa's main man, and this could be his final outing for the club. The big news from the Arsenal camp is that Ian Wright is fit to start. He replaces Christopher Wray up front. Dixon, Adams and Winterburn all played when the Gunners secured the title in 1989. Here we go then. 90 minutes of football that is bound to have twists and turns. Just where will the Premiership title be heading? Played short to Gareth Southgate, who will surely be on the boat to France this summer with England. Staunton. Oh, foul by Keown, surely. No, says the referee. Charles' ball in. York's header! Great save by David Seaman. Just how crucial could that be? Charles' cross. York's header. Seaman's save. Lightning reaction from England's number one. Keown gets across magnificently there. Former Aston Villa player, of course, Martin Keown, over 100 games for the Villains. Now Overmars. Vieira steps over the ball. Vieira's cross! And it was Parler's header at the back stick, which really should have given Arsenal the lead. Wonderful delivery by Vieira on a plate for Parler.
It's not quite the final day that Barnsley expected. All eyes turn to the top of the table. Arsenal and Manchester United fight it out. Arsenal have the advantage on goal difference. A simple matching of today's result for United will see them claim the championship. Barnsley looking to just simply go out in style, really playing for pride today. They could finish 3 from bottom, above Everton if other results go their way. And it's a strong lineup to take them into the Division 1 next season. Fjortoft and Ward leading the line. Manchester United, however, know that if they better Arsenal's result today and favours go their way, they will become the Premiership champions for a 3rd year running. Giggs again. Level. Ryan Giggs, a lot of young players in this team who have become accustomed to winning. It would be a shock to the system if their season's work were to fail today. In by Scholes and headed clear. It's going to come for Nicky Butt, is it? No. Barnsley tidying up. Fjortoft working with the midfield well so far. The big centre forward. It's going to fall for Little. And Ward. And suddenly he's in here. And Johnson comes across and Ward with a shot. Palmed away by Schmeichel. Fairly routine save, but a warning for Manchester United. Sheridan. Volleyed in, Fjortoft! Well, the celebrations are not limited to Oakwell. Arsenal fans will be hearing about this. It's a terrific cross from Sheridan. He volleys it in immediately, and Fjortoft, like any good striker, in at the near post, nods it past Schmeichel. There was a warning prior when Ward's shot was saved by the big Dane, but he could do nothing about that. And Barnsley, in their swan song, their Premiership swan song, may have a massive impact on where the Premiership trophy goes this season. Sheringham through for Cole. United looking to immediately respond. They're going to have to. It's out wide for Giggs. Little comes across, and the header is just wide from Sheringham. The intent is there, but that is a huge dent to Manchester United's championship hopes. Sheringham got there, but unlike Fjortoft, he couldn't direct it in. At this stage, whatever happens at Villa Park, if it stays like this, Arsenal will be champions. Ward, it could get worse. And his shot deflects over the crossbar. Manchester United, who comfortably wrapped up the Premier League title with games to spare last season. It's come down to the final day in this one. United, who made it a little easier for themselves against Leeds at Old Trafford, brought it down to the final day. It's good for the neutral. Here's Scholes, and it's Giggs. Couldn't get the cross in. Ball goes in again near post. Sheringham was the target, but I think there was an offside in there. He just straight out of his man.
Things not going to plan for United at Oakwell, but what about the Gunners at Villa Park? Could they fare any better?
Staunton into Joachim. Gary Charles wasn't on the same wavelength as Joachim. And Arsenal can come forwards through Vieira. Overmars. Anelka. Good ball into Vieira, who is onside. Vieira's cross. Oh, and Parler hits the post, and there's Ian Wright! But the offside flag curtails Arsenal's celebrations. Parler's header rattling against the post. Wright was there, and by a toenail, he was offside according to the assistant referee over there. Well, that was controversial. Just about the right decision from the linesman, though. Half-time, 0-0 at Villa Park. It could have been even better for Arsenal. Ian Wright's goal disallowed for a debatable offside. But so far, so good for the Gunners. They are 45 minutes away from winning the Premiership title. Here's Anelka for Arsenal. Really does have some pace in those legs, Anelka. Here's Parler. Anelka back to goal. Gets his shot away. Comfortable for Oakes. But this teenager, Nicholas Anelka, has been exceptional all season. Really good front play there. Arsene Wenger shuffling his pack. That's the end of Emmanuel Petit's Arsenal season. David Platt on to replace him.
So Arsenal drawing with Aston Villa meant a win for Manchester United would give them the Premiership. It's got shades of 1995 at the moment. Could United's team do better this time?
Sheringham. Beckham with a cross looking for Cole. And it's going to be Paul Scholes. And it's a shot from Sheringham and it's wide. He couldn't get his foot around it. And that could well be the best chance that Manchester United have had. Scholes on the turn, the shot blocked, and Sheringham couldn't get a clean connection. But Beckham, Sheringham, Beckham, Cole making the run near post. There is Andy Cole, couldn't get enough on it. And that has really been the story of the afternoon for Manchester United. They haven't been able to fashion anything really clear-cut. This is still very open, still plenty of time left. Ward. Good hit by Ward! And it's at the underside of the crossbar. A lifeline for Manchester United. It was a stunning strike from Ward. It did not cross the line. And if anything, maybe a rocket up this United side, that is it. Mere inches from this being too much of a job for United and glory for Arsenal. It's going to go wide for Beckham. Beckham with a cross, it's going to be blocked. Is it going to go out? No. Crossbar still shaking. Schmeichel beating all ends up. Beckham, Sheringham. And Giggs got ahead of Eden, and Giggs' shot is well saved by Watson. It's going to come out for Gary Neville. First time for Cole, and Cole again. Those are the margins in this title race. Ashley Ward at one end with a raking strike that came off the underside of the crossbar. United have gone up the other end, and Andy Cole, who's had a frustrating afternoon, could put Manchester United back on course for a record-breaking Premier League victory. The left foot volley, Giggs so close moments before, Cole made it count, and suddenly the nerves will be jangling at Villa Park now. The title at this stage is still Arsenal's, but one more goal from United could change that.
This is David Platt, a former Aston Villa man. Gets away from his man. Parler can cross. Blocked by Staunton. Collymore for Aston Villa. York. Gets the ball back from Mark Draper. Now's not the time for flicks though. Overmars, brilliant play. Ian Wright for Arsenal. Anelka rattles the inside of the woodwork, and Arsenal again comes so close to breaking the deadlock. What an effort from Anelka. Oakes was beaten. It remains goalless. Winterburn. 73 minutes played. It's David Platt. Anelka! Ekiog's in the way. It's a corner. Both Arsenal and Manchester United looking for a goal that would secure the title. So much drama. Vieira gives the ball away. That's so unlike him. Collymore. Seaman's there. Arsenal fans frantically listening for any updates from Oakwell. Platt. Anelka. Can Parler get the ball into the box? No, he can't. Steve Staunton does really well for Villa. And he set Collymore away. York making the run ahead of him. Here is Dwight York. Keown comes across. York keeps the ball. York! Parried away by Seaman. Aston Villa knocking on the door of breaking Arsenal hearts here. Good effort by Dwight York. He's given it his all this afternoon. He might be off, and he wants to leave with a story behind him. York's corner. Grayson's header hits the bar, and Adams gets the ball away. Arsenal living so dangerously. Brilliant header by Grayson. It beat Seaman, but there was the woodwork to save Arsenal.
So this is what it comes down to. The final 10 minutes of the FA Carling Premiership. A goal could clinch it for either team.
Schmeichel looking long for Cole, who won the header. Here's McClare, who's seen it all over the years. Plenty of big goals in his time, notably a League Cup final winner over Notts Forest. The experienced heads are needed. Flick on for Barnard. Beckham got back. Couldn't set United off again. Barnard, industrious today. Barnard, here's Tinkler, and Nicky Butt comes across and doesn't get to him. Fjortoft on the turn, and Schmeichel palming it away, keeping those hopes of a third Premier League title alive. It was an instant shot on the turn, and Schmeichel got his frame behind it. With the delivery, Barnard was in there, but it's headed clear. It's going to come back for Jones. Redfern, that's a good ball, and Schmeichel again resorting to the punch. It's going to come back for Ward. It's not. It's going to be a goal kick. There was an offside in there anyway. "10 minutes in the title race. Arsenal are currently staring at a First League Championship since the start of the decade. It's in for Cole. A goal! You can almost hear the silence from across the country, from Arsenal's perspective. Andy Cole could well have won the Premier League for Manchester United. A beautifully measured through ball, and what a finish from Cole into the roof of the net. And in an instant, the pendulum swings back the way of Mancunia. United fans in that corner absolutely delirious. As it stands, they'll be celebrating. Fjortoft, he's flicked it up for Ashley Ward! For 1 minute, United were celebrating But Barnsley have levelled up. And it is despair to joy for Arsenal. And reverse for Manchester United. These are incredible scenes at Oakwell. Alex Ferguson is furious. This is what English football, what the Premier League can do. What a touch from Fjortoft, and what a finish from Ward. He came so close moments before the equaliser early on. He has made up for it here. The left foot shot buried beyond Schmeichel. And it's back to being Arsenal in the driving seat within a minute. Lofted in, headed clear. We've got 5 minutes left on the clock here. Arsenal are almost there. They may well be there. It's Fjortoft. And it's Ward and Schmeichel behind it. And a great challenge coming in. It's going to come out for Hendry. Tinkler! Schmeichel saves it! And the championship is Arsenal's, is it? Barnsley have turned it around, and they could well have sent the title to Highbury. It's 3-2. An unbelievable finish here. Schmeichel did his absolute utmost. In came the cross, Tinkler's header, and there's no offside. Tinkler following in his own header. And Manchester United players are on the floor. Alex Ferguson is crestfallen. They have lost their way after that immediate equaliser from Ward. It's completely understandable.
Well, the magic of the FA Carling Premiership here. Who predicted Barnsley to lead Manchester United with 5 minutes to go? It meant at Villa Park, Arsenal knew a point, and the championship was theirs.
And a huge roar from the away end as they hear news of Barnsley retaking the lead against Manchester United. Would you believe it? There are grown men crying in the away end. Surely now Arsenal are going to lift the Premiership trophy for the first time, but here's Collymore. Collymore's shot is blocked. Comes to Grayson. Draper. Grayson for Aston Villa. Headed away by Adams. Parler coming forward. Arsenal on the cusp of securing a League and Cup double. But here's Draper. Could there be one final turn in what has been an incredible Premiership journey? Free kick to Villa. And this is it. York over the set piece. It's in! It's an own goal by Martin Keown against his former club, and a goal for Manchester United would send the title to Old Trafford. I do not believe it. York's dangerous free kick, cannoning in off Keown's head.
Well, that was quite extraordinary. It meant at Oakwell, United needed just one goal for the title.
Moments left, he wouldn't put it past one final flourish. Beckham with a free kick deflected and held on to by Watson, and that should be it. And there's a roar from the crowd, and we're hearing that Aston Villa have taken the lead in the 90th minute against Arsenal. Martin Keown has put it in his own net, and suddenly now the incentives with United. They could win it. They could win it. It's goal! This is incredible. Arsenal seconds from winning the championship, and now Manchester United know they're seconds away from winning it themselves. there's still a minute of time to be added on here, and United will use up every moment. It's Beckham to deliver. Will it hinge on this set piece? Beckham swings it in, and he's looking for Sheringham on the back post. He's going to come out for Gary Neville, but can't find Neville again. How quickly things have swung here. Arsenal have got to hang on. Beckham, far post is cool, and Watson got up there, and Jones has got to clear it. Beckham in the way, Sheringham! Watson got a touch. He seemed to spin away from the goal line. This is 95 stuff for Manchester United here. Incredible. This has to be the last action. Beckham. The final delivery of the season. The title is there to be won. Beckham swinging in, and the goal has done it! Manchester United are surely champions! They're off the bench. This is remarkable. It's a finish for the ages at Oakwell. Never before. And I don't think in the future will we ever see anything like this. Andy Cole in the 6-yard box rose, and with the biggest hat-trick of his life, has secured the Premier League Championship, surely now for Manchester United, for a third year in a row. They've done it. It's the last touch of the league season. A point, 1 point, separated them. And it has been achieved in the most remarkable fashion at Oakwell. Arsenal was seconds away on more than one occasion.
It's heartbreak, the latest of heartbreaks for Arsenal. And it's Martin Keown who has etched himself into unwanted history. His late own goal, meaning that Arsenal don't pick up a point on the final day, and they'll have to finish their season with just an FA Cup trophy. The title is Manchester United's.
Even by Manchester United standards, this has to be one of the most unbelievable triumphs in their history. The captain Peter Schmeichel lifts the Premier League trophy for a third successive season. They could not have done it in any more dramatic fashion. Arsenal took them right to the edge. They were there, they were almost holding that very trophy. But it's going to be United again. It's breathless, it's breathtaking. And it's the Red Devils. Andy Cole writes his name in the folklore of this club. It's 3-3 on the day, and it's Manchester United, 1997-1998 Premier League champions.
Well, it's quite incredible, really. First, I want to send my commiserations to Arsenal, because they've really given us a tough test this season, and seconds away from winning the Premier League, it's a devastating thing. We know what that feels like. We had it a couple of years ago at Upton Park. You can't afford to feel like you're beat, you know.
Well, my first thoughts when I saw the goal from Keown was mad, but it is football. We played Man United. We gave them a good game, a good goal all season, but perhaps we didn't quite have the belief to realise they could make up the points that they did. Yes.
We didn't know the margins were so fine, and that own goal, obviously, at Villa Park, we just give it one last push. And Andy Cole, well, that's really why we paid the money for him, you know. He's an experienced head, he knows how to score, he knows where a goal is, and it's a good role model for young players coming through. And it's a great experience for them. They've been here before, but to take it to the wire like that, that proves not just the quality, but it shows resilience and heart. And we're going to enjoy this. We know we came very close not to. So you've got to enjoy it all the more.
No, it's a shame, and I would very much like to congratulate Man United and Alex Ferguson for all they have done. It's you can't lie in the league. The best team always wins, but I can't help but think, well, indeed, you really feel for Arsene Wenger there, but my heavens, have you ever seen anything like that in footballing history, let alone the Premiership, let alone the Football League? I mean, you'd go to 1989, wouldn't you? And I was there. It was horrible, so I fully know what it is, and that was the two there, but in that occasion, I think it was slightly different because in terms of the match, Arsenal needed the one goal. It was going through to the final minutes. This was 2 minutes into stoppage time at Villa Park. Arsenal had the title won, an own goal, and suddenly Man United, who had put on a really lacklustre performance, turned it up a notch and found an equaliser. Those moments when suddenly United realised a goal could win them the league. I don't know how Barnsley lasted that long. It was just relentless. Attack, chance. My heavens. Well, ultimately what it comes down to, the inquest will take place at Highbury. This was supposed to be their championship, wasn't it, Trevor? But it all fell apart, really, didn't it? Well, yeah, it's difficult to sit there and say they threw it away, although you look at Martin Keown and that, but I think in that game, bless them, they looked tired from me. They played a cup final last week and they just didn't quite have the legs to really push forward. And I think that perhaps played a part in it. Well, one thing that probably played a part in it was the disallowed goal. Now, Trev Motson called it was just a toe offside, but that looks a really, really tight decision, and should the benefit of the doubt go to the attacking team? Don't know, I mean, there's called for sort of a video technology, sort of replay technology in that, but I personally am completely and utterly against it. I think it'll ruin the game. It's a talking points list that people will talk about for a long time. Referee and the linesman have got a really difficult job to go ahead and call a moment like that, and he raised his flag, and whether it's dead on, it's slightly on, off, a toe length, whatever it may be, that's the referee's decision. It's as Brian Clough said, you can't influence that, you've got to move on. What about Manchester United? Looked as if they'd thrown it away back in March when Arsenal beat them, but they managed to pick themselves up. Well, I think United have got to put to a couple of big wins they had at home. Leeds United, Newcastle United really stand out as occasions, especially when Brian McClare scored very late on against Newcastle United. It sort of gave them the momentum really in this game, and sometimes football's about momentum. If you have it, then you can take it forward. Well, the momentum was certainly there with Bolton Wanderers at the bottom of the table. They took on Chelsea, and here was the story of how they got on. The relegation battle for Bolton was simple. A point would be enough to see them guarantee Premiership survival. But standing in their way to a hero's welcome, well, the cup winners, Chelsea. And despite some changes, it was Chelsea, even though they were rotating the squad, that got the opening breakthrough. Jody Morris's excellent strike gave Chelsea the lead, and Stamford Bridge delighted. But Bolton knew a draw is all they needed to stay up. However, things weren't going their way. Dan Petrescu's cross was met by Tore-Andre Flo to head past Brannigan and to double the disadvantage for Bolton Wanderers. In the second half, though, things look a little bit brighter for Bolton. France's clearance found its way to Nathan Dyer, who had the better of Clark and Leboeuf, and the finish past Hitchcock to make it 2-1 and to give Bolton Wanderers hope. But Chelsea went ahead and reclaimed their 2-goal advantage. Tore-Andre Flo found the room and the finish and the easy ability to turn Jerry Taggart and fire past Brannigan. So, back to Bolton again, who responded 4 minutes later. John Solarco picked the ball up, the ball was played into Dean Holsworth, a fine finish, and it was 3-2, and Bolton Wanderers had hope. But hope springs eternal in football. A minute to go in injury time, Dan Petrescu sealed it. Bolton Wanderers knew that survival was no longer in their own hands. For Chelsea, a good win for them at the end of the season. They were winners by 4-2. A win for Everton, therefore, with guaranteed survival. So to see if Everton could survive at Goodison Park for us is Trevor Davis.
Nothing is more stressful when you realise that your very survival is not in your own hands. And that is the challenge Everton have today. They have to hope Chelsea do them a favour down in West London. So here in Merseyside, they can complete the great escape. Everton have been a side which has shown promise but have always faded in key moments, whereas Gordon Strachan's Coventry side that survived relegation by the skin of their teeth last season have thrived this season. Howard Kendall knows it is a big occasion for his side in what he calls their cup final, and therefore his side is largely expected and unchanged. Madar and Ferguson leading the line, Hutchinson and Nick Barmby, who has shone in the relegation dogfights. For Coventry City, it's nothing more than pride to play for today in their strongest Premiership season for a while. Virat Moldovan continues to partner Dion Dublin in a forward role. Darren Huckabee goes on the wings, and Paul Clement also chosen at number 15 on the wing. So Everton's job is clear. They have to win. Very much hope Chelsea do them a favour. Gerrard to take. Ferguson's flick on. It's a really good one to John Uster. Barnby. Nice run. Ferguson just tried to march his way forwards. Oh! There was Slaman Bilic with a mistake that Moldovan nearly took advantage of. Hutchinson plays it into a gap. Hall leaves it. Shouldn't have! Terrific stop by Hedman. It was chaos in the area. Ferguson's effort off, and Angus Hedman there get across to make a really good save, but panic in the Coventry penalty area. He's great short. Come on again. McAllister. Moldovan. Well, what a chance that was. Virat Moldovan here suddenly found himself with time and space in the Everton penalty area, but his radar was missing at the key moment, and that's why he didn't score. Ferguson's flick on. There was Shaw able to get there ahead of Madar. Huckabee. Moldovan again, he's always on the shoulder and the edge of any defender. Good flick on by Ferguson to Mikkel Madar. Opportunity! Yes! Priceless goal for Everton. And it's Madar. And it's magic. As loud as and as passionate Goodison Park has been, Ferguson with the perfect flick on. Madar had the pace to find his way past Shaw. There he goes on his bike. There's the flick on. He was brought slightly wide, but that's a brilliant finish. Maybe you could say the goalkeeper should have done more, but Everton won't mind. Barnby. Nice touch. That's a good ball. Couldn't still provide a quality cross. No, he's provided a quality pass, and that is a quality goal for Everton. And not only that, it's hugely important. Everton are 2 up, Bolton are 2 down. The relegation great escape is well and truly on here for Everton. What a pass by Barnby. Uster gets past Hall. What a ball, but my heavens, where was the marking on Duncan Ferguson? But from Everton's standpoint, they won't care. They're 2 up in their must-win match. Is Lady Luck shining on Everton this afternoon? Ferguson with another flick on Barnby. This is excellent from Everton. John Uster provided a quality pass, got an assist to his name. Advantage played, and play will be brought back. Duncan Ferguson lined up the shot. Clermont is going to be spoken to by Uriah Rennie. This is what it was for. It was late, nothing more though. So Nick Barnby is over the free kick. 4 in the wall for Coventry City. And easily claimed by Headman. Maydar's header really lacking the pace and conviction to really worry him. The throw was a poor one. And Ferguson's played in Mikkel. Maydar! Oh! And that might be the 3 points decided here at Goodison Park. The question will be, can Chelsea continue to do what Everton need them to do at Stamford Bridge? There was a brilliant pass by Ferguson. He has been fantastic as the big target man this afternoon. Another assist for him. Maydar's second. This time it's with his right foot. And again, Headman is beaten in the near post. We wait here for the whistle to go for half time. There's Hall's clearance. Well, Everton are doing everything they can do. Chelsea are giving them a massive favour. But Everton know if they focused on their game, maybe Lady Luck would smile on them. And as things stand at half time, they certainly are. Everton 3-0 up. Phelan. What a ball that is. John Uster out wide. Here's cross in. Ferguson! And it flashes wide. Duncan Ferguson hoping desperately that was his fourth, that was his team's fourth, his second, and he's very unlucky because that's a brilliant header, but also great play. Boateng. Header is away by Everton, is by Dave Watson. Clever ball that is into Moldovan. Dublin, and it took a deflection. It's going to be another corner, and already the pressure is starting to show. Coventry do not want to finish this season, which they have had an impressive go as they've had in the Premiership for many a time. Won't want it to end in a whimper. Gary McAllister's corner. 5 forwards, all in white shirts. Dublin was there, but Bilic made a really good interception. Ball's headed down. Boateng. Dublin. Oh, it was deflected in! And it isn't going to be that simple. Deal Dublin's goal. And suddenly the party atmosphere has been crashed. Clearance wasn't the most you've ever seen. Hall did well to win the header. Clever ball by Boateng. And in trying to block the ball, Dave Watson has deflected that past a helpless Paul Gerrard. The ball has ended up into the back of the net. And that was always the gamble with that sort of situation. That's what Gordon Strachan has asked his side to do. And they're back in it, you know. Instant ball, cut out by Williams. It's on the centre half to another. Dublin tried to win the header. Hutchinson goes back to Barnby, that's on his own 18-yard box. That's been impressive today has been Duncan Ferguson's ability to win the ball in the air. This is Dublin. Moldovan. Good work from Slavan Bilic. Clearance isn't great. Marcus Hall's ball into the box. Oh, say! What an attempt that was. What an attempt. Well, the ball was just pinged into the area to see what was possible. Dublin nearly produced something spectacular. What a fine goal that would have been. Here's Hutchinson for Everton. Red shorts. The territory for Everton. And some news coming in from Stamford Bridge. And Nathan Blake goal has made it 2-1. And it's suddenly here at Goodison Park, Mikkel Maedar has made it 4-1 and completed the perfect hat-trick. Just when it was starting to get a little worrying at Stamford Bridge, Mikkel Maedar might have just eased the tension with a fine goal. He scored left foot, right foot and his head. What a fine goal this was. Great cross from, oh, who else? Nick Barmby, who's been everywhere today. He got down the end of Booster's throw. And Maedar rose above Telford to head past Hedman. Well, Everton, this is the stuff of dreams for them. 4-1 up. Absolutely loving life at the moment. It's been a fine performance by Everton. Still, if Bolton were to equalise, that is a very real possibility. Regardless of what Everton does here, they're down. Here's Dublin. Oh, Darren Huckabee! It's goals galore in the finale of the Premiership. 4-2 now. Might not be all over. What a pass this was by Dublin. Huckabee had the pace there to get ahead of Farrelly and Phelan, and the finish to beat Gerrard. Waits for his moment and gets on his bike. Takes one touch and then places the ball absolutely perfectly right past the keeper. Excellent goal. Game on again. Ferguson. Oh. Well, it's not been his day in terms of finishing. His striking partner will get a lot of the plaudits, but in terms of performances, his performance so far today has been vital. Big game player here, and Big Dunkers stirred up all right indeed. And on comes Burrows to replace Clement, and Danny Canimatri will replace John Ooster. Oh, it's off the bar from Dublin, and it just about stays away. McAllister, and it's there. It's Darren Huckabee, his second. Coventry's third. 15 minutes to go. It's Everton 4, Coventry 3, and this might not be all over. Brilliant header. Oh, it bounced off the bar twice. But the presence of mind from Gary McAllister to head the ball down to Darren Huckabee, well, this needs to be commended. That is a brilliant header, and then Huckabee's effort, it just had the placement and the power. It was perfection, and it's all getting worrying now at Goodison Park. Here's McAllister. Huckabee. Have a little ball in. Oh, it's Dublin! Unbelievable! It's 4-4. And Everton are in trouble now. They really are in trouble now. They have to win this match. Chelsea have scored. They're 3-1 up now. Tore-Andre Flo has made that 3-1, but for Everton, this is disastrous. And Dublin, what a touch that was to beat Watson. And a brilliant finish past Gerrard. Great work, but McAllister again, he is dictating the game. There's that little shimmy away from Watson, and the finish catches out Gerrard. 4-4. My heavens, what a game. Maedar. Hutchinson. Barnsley passes just behind Ferguson. Dublin for Coventry City. Now facing McAllister! Oh! That would have been spectacular. It would have been so cruel on Everton. It was a whisker away from being reality. The Coventry City skipper there. Barnsley, who's worked his socks off today. Madar. This is Farrelly. 4 minutes to go for Everton to save their season. It's Madar. It's come back to Barnsley. It didn't go in. I don't believe it. Nick Barnsley. It was laid up for him to have a go. It takes the wickedest of deflections and it skims just past the post. It's unbelievable. Oh my heavens. It is a corner though. It is Barnsley to take. Oh, and it just flicked past by Farrelly. He did get his head to it. Oh, this is quite unbelievable here. Delphus ball in. It is cleared away. Ferguson. Everton need a goal. Madar, that is a lovely pass across to Daddy Canamartri. Barnsley's charging forward. Canamartri is still going on. No, he hasn't. He's lost it. Barnsley's got there. Was it brought down? Barnsley picks it up for Everton. Oh, terrific save. Williams' clearance. Great shot. Here's Hutchinson. It is all on the line for Everton now. Headed away. They have to score. Everton have to score. McAllister. Burrows. Wrong end of the pitch for Everton. Moldovan. And a foul is called against Canamartri. And that could be that. That could be that. Oh, Everton down. They have to defend this and pretty much score straight away. There is not a lot, if any, added time left. We're in the complete back end of the season. It is all or nothing here. McAllister to take. Oh, it was Burrows. And there will be one last goal kick and one last chance for Everton, but David Burrows getting the better of Barnsley to head it over. Well, Lady Luck deserted them. Everton here know they are facing relegation. Gerrard's goal kick. Ferguson's headed down. Picked up by Moldovan. It's Coventry which have the ball. Advantage played. Barnsley wins it. Ferguson. Last chance saloon, you feel. Madar. He's got to shoot! And it's saved by Hedman. We're in the 96th minute, and that's it. That is incredible. Everton are relegated from the Premiership, and it was all in hand of 4-1 up. And in the end, Coventry City, credit to them, making an absolute fabulous match this was. But Everton seemed to take their feet off the pedals at 4-1 up. What a fight back by Gordon Strachan's men, but heartbreak for Howard and Kendall's team. Everton are relegated from the FA Carling Premiership. Full time in a fantastic match. It is finished 4-4.
Was that game of the season there, Trevor? Because as heartbreaking as that was, Everton have got to be thinking, goodness me, did they throw that away? Yeah, I do think it is. I do think it's game of the season. And the credit has to go to Gordon Strachan, and the credit really has to go to Coventry City for being up for it and making a real game of it, because they did, and that needs to be acknowledged. But if you're Everton, you're 4-1 up, you should shut up shop and you should make sure there's nothing there. Their defending was utterly diabolical. It was an appalling performance. Dreadful. And that's what really was disappointing, was just how poor the performance was from Everton once they were up. It was like they thought they were there, they were celebrating, and it all went to pieces. Well, hugely disappointing that is, but Coventry City made a real game of it, and ultimately it was one of their players of the season. Yeah, Dion Dublin, excellent. He got on, he changed the game. The deflected goal, I think, got Everton a bit nervous, but they couldn't deal with Huckabee as well, and the goal at the end was excellent. His little jink to the right, finish pulling it away from the keeper's, into the left hand net, away from the keeper's right hand side. It was just brilliant to watch. Fantastic. Well, commiserations to Everton, who are down. So let's see what went on in the other games that took place this weekend. There was decidedly nothing end-of-term in the game between Leicester City and West Ham United at Upton Park. An early goal and a brilliant free kick by Muzzy Izzet set things off to a high standard. West Ham's equaliser arrived when Paul Kitson combined with Trevor Sinclair to lay the ball into John Hartson to tap in from 3 yards and to give West Ham United their equaliser. But on the stroke of half-time, a brilliant Leicester counter-attack put them ahead at the break. A ball which eventually broke to Theo Zacharakis after a fine through ball by Neil Lennon, a wonderful finish by the departing McCloskey. But it wasn't to be a miserable afternoon for West Ham's long-standing goalkeeper. David Unsworth would step up with a fine free kick to cop exactly what Izzet did to bring the Hammers level and to score his first goal for West Ham United this season. What a time to do it. But Leicester City would strike back straight away. Unsworth played the ball back to Ferdinand, who lost his line of sight and ended up playing a ball to the one player you absolutely definitely don't want to. A goal for Tony Cottee. A fine finish that was, as this old marksman shows he still has it. And then prompted West Ham to fight their way back. Hartson combining really well with Frank Lampard, whose effort struck the post. Steve Lomas put the ball back into the box. Swivelling on a sixpence was John Hartson. 3-3. And the joy was founded by that was the winning goal that arrived 5 minutes later. Another break when Lampard played a ball through over to Hartson. He put it across to Kitson, who miscontrolled it, had the presence of mind to play the ball back in, and nobody picked out Trevor Sinclair to get the winning goal on this one. A wonderful afternoon for West Ham United and Leicester City that both contributed to a fine match and a good sender for McCloskey. The FA Cup finalists beaten also last Saturday. It showed really, and it was a real end of season performance for one to forget. For Blackburn Rovers, it's been a disappointing campaign for them, but it finished on a high note, particularly for the most unlikely of goal scorers. Colin Hendry's master blaster from outside the box gave Rovers all 3 points in this one. Derby County also finished the season strong, beating a Liverpool side that looked like they were already off on their summer holidays. The goal that broke the deadlock was a good one, Wanchop's pullback, a fine finish by Sturridge to settle this one. Derby's delight in this one as they finished this season by putting a little pride back into their park. Leeds United completely dominated Wimbledon but somehow walked away with only a point in this game. It's something they have to work on next season, but there is real promise at Ellen Road, particularly from young Australian Harry Kewell, who darted his way through, a cool finish in the end past Sullivan. Real delight for Leeds United and Ellen Road, whose young side have got real potential. But they're going to have to work on taking control at key moments, and it was a real bit of luck that brought Wimbledon level. Hartford's effort struck the post, and it turns out the ball bounced perfectly back into Hartford, who had a tap in from a yard. The Crazy Gang absolutely delighted as they finished the season, well, a little bit stronger than they started it perhaps. Crystal Palace returned back to the Football League, and it's been their home form that's been the problem this season. So why is it when they've been relegated they find a way to resolve it? Neil Shipley got the goal that beat Ron Atkinson Sheffield Wednesday, potentially the last time he could be managing them with his contract due to expire. As for Crystal Palace, they hope this could be the catalyst to return back to the Premiership. A momentous day at White Hart Lane as for the very last time as a professional footballer, Gary Mabbott played and captained out Tottenham Hotspur. But the goal that Southampton scored in the second half, which allowed them to take the lead, was nothing Mabbott or anyone else could do. Brilliant play between Hurst Ustenstadt and Matt Le Tissier providing a cool finish which Ian Walker could get nowhere near. The equaliser for Spurs though was deserved and it arrived 4 minutes from time. A header that was eventually won by Mabba was played forward in the end through Ferdinand. Klinsmann on his last game squared the ball back. Les Ferdinand surely now has staked a case to be in Glenn Hoddle's England side. Probably say the same from Klinsmann in Germany. This one finished 1 apiece. Confirmation then, Manchester United have won the FA Carling Premiership by a single point in the end over Arsenal. Had Martin Keown's header gone a foot over the bar, Arsenal would have won it on goal difference. Football can be very cruel, you know. Chelsea confirmed as they will be in the Cup Winners' Cup after winning the trophy in midweek. Liverpool, Aston Villa and Leeds United will all be in the UEFA Cup. Blackburn Rovers miss out. Crystal Palace, Barnsley and Everton confirmed to be relegated from the Premiership. Bolton Wanderers survived despite being beat by Chelsea, but having collected more points. They all count, don't they? Wimbledon themselves, despite a point in the last season, failed to make the 40-point mark, and Ron Atkinson bows out as Sheffield Wednesday manager, with them in 15th. Newcastle United, second last season, disappointing 13. Well, chaps, we've got to dissect the season. What have you made of it so far? Has it been great? It's been really, really enjoyable, hasn't it? It's been a really, really good season. I wonder if the hype of last season come off Euro 96 might have just taken the tinge of it this season, certainly speaking. But yeah, it's been a great watch. It's been really good. I'm with you too. I think there's been some excellent football played at times, and it's good to see the English sides getting a bit stronger. I think, Manchester United in particular, we disappointed, how they fell out of Europe and that, but how they picked themselves up and won the Premiership here today, it's Alex Ferguson's doing. Let's take a look, shall we, at the first 11 here that you've both picked as the top side in the FA Carling Premiership, and here is your choice, and a couple of late changes, I understand, Trevor. Yeah, do you know what? I did have Michael Owen in for Andy Cole, and I did have Martin Keown in for Frank Leboeuf, but based on their performances here today, I had to drop Keown. I don't really want to, but I had to really based on that. I think Leboeuf's been the third best defender in the Premiership this season. And Andy Cole, 5 goals in the last 2 games, a hat-trick to win the Premiership. It's magnificent, isn't it? Well, that concludes another season of FA Premiership football here on Match of the Day. Thank you all very much. Thanks tonight for Trevor and Trevor for all their company. Thank you for joining us. It's been our pleasure, and we hope to see you again in the future very soon on an evening in which the FA Premiership has delivered in bucket loads. So much to the point, I don't think we need to do this again because I can't see this ever being matched. Bye-bye. Thank you for watching here this match on Trevor Sports. If you've liked it, please don't be afraid to like, share and subscribe to the channel. And if you do fancy it, head on over to Ko-fi. The link is in the description. Buy me a coffee for all the hard work. Further than that, make sure you enjoy more games coming up.